Kakadosh Boker Or, Daf Yomi Masechet Zevachim, Daf Ayin Bet Amud Aleph 72a1. If you guys look, first of all, on the bottom, you have a chart. In the chart, you see that you have the Mishnah. There's a Mishnah in Zevachim, Timurah, and Avodah Zarah. So you have over there that they were what got mixed up. So the Suga Yisur is Yisurei Ana'ah. Then you have Psulei Mizbeach, and then you have Yisurei Ana'ah. So what did they get mixed up with? So we said that it got mixed up with either Zvachim, Zachim, or Chulin. So again, that's why each Mishnah is coming to teach you something new. So one more time, today we're just starting where we said that we needed both of the Mishnayot to teach you. If it was going to come and teach you about the Mishnah and Avodah Zarah, and the Mishnah Avodah Zarah was talking about Yisurei Ana'ah with Chulin, I would have had a Havamina Le'Idiot. That's when it's going to be everything is going to be Asur. But Legavoa, I would say that it's not going to be everything Asur, right? Why? You should say Batel Barov. Now he says, now if it's going to be from the other Mishnah, I would have had a Havamina the opposite way around. That it's only coaching that everything becomes Asur, because you're not going to bring something Asur to the Mizbeach. It's Mais, it's disgusting. You're not going to bring it to the Mizbeach. But Chulin, what's the big deal if you know how it is? So I would say, Be'emet, Yisurei Ana'ah is going to be Batel Barov. So tzricha, that's why we needed both Mishnayot. Okay, that's why you have the sikum over there, the summary. Okay, you see, everyone sees the summary in the footnote. It says over there, if the animal which is permitted gets mixed up with other korbanot, so he says there's a svara la'akel v'gam la'achmin on everything else. He says the Mishnah is teaching us, right? He says that zvachim or ksherim are not going to be batel berov. So he says even though there's a chumrah that it's going to lose kalchim, right? So it's a chumrah, but he says the Mishnah Avodah Zarah is teaching us that when you have chulin, it's also not going to be batel, right? Even though it's not maus. And the Mishnah and Tmurah is coming teaching you that if you've got a behemah which is going to be asur to mizbeach by itself and it's not a subana, and still it's going to be not batel. So you have another svara la'akel, right? And you have a svara la'achmir. So basically each one have a svara to be mekel and to be machmir, and that's what we're trying to say over here. So ask the Gemara, v'ni batel beruba. Why don't we behemet say batel berov? You go 1 in 1,000 or 10,000. Batel berov. Go after the majority. You understand? So he says, "V'chiteim," and now you're going to tell me chashive. It's chashuv, and therefore we will batle. Anything which is chashuv is not batel. When do you say bitul? Bitul is something which is not important, so you're mevatel. But if it's going to be something chashuv, you can't say batel. So I'll give you an example. You've got the drop of milk that comes and it falls into a rafina, right? Or some people they come and they purposely put it in, right? So what happens? He says it's not going to be. It's going to be batel. Why? It's not chashuv. But if I'm going to come and I'm going to put a taster, which means I'm going to put something for taste, right? I'm going to put it for taste. What would the for sure lechatchila, right? So he says, but what happens, right? Some people they do a lechatchila. What do you think? He just told you one of his secrets. Now he just
after expiration, milk. Especially after
after the market expires, exactly. Everything is after the expiration date.
Okay.
And you know what? Nothing.
Yes.
So they asked him the question about it, and he said, "Yeah, if it was like this, it's okay, it's permissible." And he saw him many years later. He said, "You know, I gave the recipe of my children to everybody, and they loved it." That's great. I probably made it as a joke.
No, it's by mistake.
By mistake, so they asked him, "Are you allowed to eat it?" So he said, "Yes, you're allowed to eat it." So the guy took the things and made it into a recipe and said, "Oh,
give to people."
And when they get to there, that make that.
But the Bishishim don't work only for creation, bria.
Bidia is not batel b'shishim. Why? Because it's the same thing. It's chashuv. It's chashuv.
So you're gonna tell me
No, not only a bidia. Also, baalei chayim. Baalei chayim is also chashuv. It's an animal. An animal is important. What?
So eating something that's not kosher is not chashuv?
No, it's not that it's not chashuv. It's batel. Yeah. So now he says, "V'chitim," and if you're going to tell me it's chashuv and it's not batel. Hani chalamandamar. That's good according to the mandamar that says kol shedek kol lemanot shaninu, that anything which you count is something which is going to be chashuv. But according to the mandamar that says et shedek kol lemanot shaninu. So Michael, what are you going to say then? Why? Because the behemah should not become batel berov. He says for sure it should become batel berov. Why? Because they sell them vatachat. Right, big ones with small ones. They're not makpid exactly on the things. The Tznan we learned to the Mishnah Norla. Nisha yulu chavile tiltan. If you had chavile tiltan, which is basically a kitnit, right? That like kitniot, all these types of grains and everything. Shel kilei kerem of kilei kerem. I'm betam ubet 72b. Right, yidalku, which means you have to burn them. Right? Why? Because that's kilei kerem, which is a surbana, meaning kilaim is a surbana. Okay, everyone's with me. Kilaim is a surbana. You're not allowed to benefit from it. Okay, no tricks. Nitarvu ba'acherim. What happens if they get kilaim? Here is talking about in the grains. In the grains. Yeah. What? Yeah. I see you really like the idiots here. Yeah.
I need those things.
100%.
Only, you know,
100%. Nitarvu ba'acherim. If it's going to be mixed with other ones. And acherim ba'acherim. Kulan yidlaku. You have to come and you have to burn everything. These are what it mean. Chachamim omrim ya'alu be'echad u'matayim. No, you do one and it's basically 1 in 200. Because remember, to do bitul, usually isur ve'ter is going to be 1 in 60. But to do with things of certain things is 100 and certain things is 200. So here to do with these things of kilaim, it's 1 in 200. Shaya Rabbi Meir Omer, but says Rabbi Meir, Kol Shadar Kol Imanot Mekadesh, anything which is going to be that you have numbers for it, so it's going to become Hekdesh, it's going to become a problem. Chachamim Orim Eno Mekadesh, Ela Shishat Dvarim Bilvad. That means they come and they say it's only going to be 6 things which are Chashuvim, and Rabbi Akiva comes and he says 7 things which are Chashuvim. Velo, and these are the 7 things. Egoze Prach, Egoze Perech, these are walnuts, but certain types obviously. Rimune Badan, they're talking about, again, certain types of pomegranates. Chaviot Stumot, right? They're talking about now barrels of wine closed. Chilfeti tradin. We're talking about klachim of tered. Right? Beets, kilchik, ruv. Right? Or this is beets. No, the other one is spinach. No, tradin.
Ruv is cabbage.
Cabbage. Right? And then he says udlati vanit. Rabbi Akiva adds on kikarot shel balabait. What does it mean? A kikar of a balabait, meaning a loaf of bread of a balabait, which is going to be a ra'ui orla, which is going to be fitting for orla, is going to be orla. So you see from here that there's going to be certain halachot that what exactly is batel. So these are things which are not going to be batel. Why? Because they're dvarim chashuvim. They're very, very important. So they're not going to be batel. They eat marala, and it was stated on this. Rabbi Yochanan says that shadar kol imenot shaninu. Rabbi Shimon Leki says kol shadar kol imenot shaninu, which means that there's going to be a machloka between Rabbi Yochanan and Resh Lakish. Do we go after et shadar kol, right? Or which means only something which people sell, right? Kol davar bnei adam mochrim oto lefi minyan. Right, but he says, but they don't sell it with any omed whatsoever, meaning that it's by numbers. I'm going to sell you a dozen of eggs, but it has to be, meaning it goes by a number, right? So therefore, that's the concept of et shedarko or kol shedarko. Kol shedarko means anything which sometimes people are makpidim to sell it lefi minyan, even though sometimes people don't. Meaning it kol shedarko, the majority of the times. So you're right. The majority of people, they come and they sell it by numbers. Some people, they just sell it not by numbers. So it all depends. Yeah, by weight or by big and small, and they don't care, right? So hani Resh Lakish. Let's go according to Resh Lakish. But according to Rabbi Yochanan, what are you going to say? So Rav Papa says, "Hi Tana." This Tana holds Tana de litra ktsiotu. This is a Tana of litra ktsiot, right? What does that mean, right? The Amar, because he's going to say, "Kol davar sheyesh b'minyan afilu b'drabanan lo batil ve'kol shkem doraita." He says anything which is sold in numbers, right? Even though the majority of the people, right, are not going to sell it in numbers. For example, litra ktsiot. He says still the fact that it is in numbers, so even the Rabbanan, it's not going to be batel, and kol shkem doraita, it's not going to be batel. Obviously, we're going to have to speak about what is the doraita, the Rabbanan.